Make the correction. If you don't make the correction, you keep doing it and trying to hide it, and you get worse off and worse off and worse off.
My topic today is dare to be great. And I use the word dare because it takes a lot of courage in our lives, because there's a tendency everywhere for us to, go to the line of least resistance, to follow that line, to be average, to be mediocre, and to be just like everybody else. In fact, in Australia, they have a motto, cut the tall poppies. Basically, aren't supposed to have your head any higher than anybody else. It doesn't mean to be boastful. It doesn't mean to be arrogant. It doesn't mean to be proud, because the greatest people are really the servants of others. And to dare to be great is like, what's the purpose of life unless we really climb the mountain, we really make the commitment to the challenge that there is for each and every one of us. Every single person has the same opportunity. Even though we have different financial situation, or maybe a different family background, or maybe you have a different education, there's different levels of intelligence. But what happens is that each one of us really has the same opportunity when we hear knowledge to be able to apply it at the best of our ability. Any of you ever heard of the Special Olympics? Okay, and it's a wonderful thing where there are people there who get together and they compete in athletic events. And it's a very inspiring thing, and because nobody there is really competing with anybody else. It's kind of an interesting thing. Somehow, in the big N, less than what we call normal, some of these people have the gift of no competition. They just love everybody. They're just in the race just to be in the race. They're just glad to be in the race. And if somebody else wins, they're so happy for their friend that won, that they have no sense, I didn't win. They just got to run. And that in the spiritual world, there is no competition. But in our world out here, we have competition only because we see things as scarce. And because envy is the disease of humankind, most of us envy what other people have, not realizing that God has given everybody the chance to have whatever it is that they need, and more importantly, they can have a relationship with God. When we have a complete relationship with God, all of our needs are met. So I'm going to do a little bit of quote this morning, and this is such an important talk that sometimes when I have a really important talk, it's one that should be, I think I'm going to carry it over even to next week, but next week is reject rejection. And if you don't come, I won't feel hurt. Be your loss, because I'm going to be here. And I'm going to get value. And that's it. When you show up and you are in the race and you're in the game, even if you're the only one, you're going to get value. You could do a talk for one person or 1,000,000. I'm always committed to giving my $1 million talk, so however it goes. So if you get $1 million or more value, that's wonderful, but tithe at that level. You can tithe at the level of what you expect to receive. Be courageous, and you'll see what happens. All right. Now, in Matthew 5:19, it says, "Whoever shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach others so, that person shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever shall do and teach them these principles, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." And another one, and it's telling what is greatness. We want to know what is greatness and how do we achieve it. And that a great person is not known, in a sense, by how much they get, but is really how much they contribute and how much they give. And that we all have something to give of ourselves. We are born with talents and abilities. We have love that we can give. You can even give a smile. You can give a nod of acknowledgement. And oftentimes, if you think about what can you give that doesn't cost anything to give, you find that you have a day very full of giving. For in giving is the real joy of life. But that each one of us is a seed of God. So we're all godly in that sense of, in the Bible says, be ye as gods. That means we're not God, but we're all children of God, so we are part of God. And our destiny is greatness. Your destiny is greatness. Whether you choose it now or another time, 1,000,000 lifetimes from now, it ain't going to be any easier. The moment when you choose, there is a mountain to climb. And the mountain doesn't get easier by procrastinating the climb. It doesn't say, well, I'll just wait this one out because it's going to be a little bit too difficult or it's a little too hard. You know, when you say, I'm going to love, our mission is not always going to be applauded. Our mission is not always going to have everybody approve of us or everybody like us. But you have a calling in life. It doesn't matter how old you are. So, but Terry, you're talking to me and I'm almost dead now. So what difference does it make? You can't die. You see, you don't die to become immortal. You are now. You are eternal. And that whatever you're working on, that say you're working on in your relationship and you think, okay, how can you love God if you can't love the people you're with? You see, and the more we love God, the more we love the people we're with. And what does it mean to love someone? It means to learn how to get along. It means to learn how to please them. It means to learn how to develop yourself. And you have talents and abilities. You have great talents. And how many people really use their talents? Very few people, because most people are afraid they're not going to make any money. So they don't. Look at Jerry Lynn, wherever she went. She's out there. Oh. Look at Jerry Lynn. She's manifested herself and disappeared. There she is. I mean, she earns all of her money from singing and music. You know, she's busy day and night doing her music. Most people have their greatest success after the age of 50 because by 50, you've made all your mistakes. Now you know what to do. So we think this is the time, you see, to allow ourselves to manifest the greatness within us by thinking about how can I serve others? How can I help them get what they want in life? And then greatness comes from realizing, in the front of your program, the pearl of great price. Greatness comes when a person actually recognizes gold and takes it. It's when a person finds that there's something like the pearl of great